Emmanuel Macron faces revolt from economic advisers over rich-friendly policies. The memo's accusatory tone is the latest sign of discord between Mr. Macron and the center-left supporters who propelled him to power last year by voting for the politically inexperienced ex-banker over far-right veteran Marine Le Pen. In the confidential memo sent to Mr. Macron's office on June 4, top economists Philippe Aghion, Philippe Martin and Jean Pisani-Ferry said that the president's economic policy and emancipatory ambition was failing to convince citizens, including his most fervent supporters, according to French newspaper Le Monde. Many supporters of the then-candidate fear a shift to the right, motivated by the temptation to occupy the political space neglected by a conservative party in crisis, The Economists wrote, referring to the country's embattled Les Republicans party. Mr. Macron, who has pitched himself as neither left nor right, loosened France's rigid labor rules and slashed a controversial wealth tax within his first 6 months in office, decisions which have earned him the unflattering nickname President of the Rich. The young centrist was elected on a promise to deeply transform the French economy, but his supporters are growing increasingly wary of his right-leaning reform agenda. The three economists warned him that there was a risk the French would find such measures unfair, and think that the government is indifferent to the social question and to the needs of the poorest members of society. The need to address inequalities, a key issue that helped shape the candidate's political identity, has been completely ignored, they argued, adding that the president must talk about the issue of inequalities and not leave this debate to his opponents. Among the proposals to reduce inequalities, the economists suggested a rise in inheritance tax for the richest, slashing tax credits on property investments, and scrapping a pledge to get rid of a housing tax for the wealthiest 20%. The economists said that while important actions had been taken by the Macron administration in the past year, some had fallen short of initial ambitions. Mr. Pisani-Ferry, a university professor at Paris Sciences Po University who coordinated Mr. Macron's economic program, declined to comment when contacted by Reuters. Mr. Martin, a former Macron advisor and the head of France's Council of Economic Analysis, and Mr. Aghion of the prestigious Collège de France, did not immediately respond to a request for comment, Reuters said. A spokesperson for Mr. Macron's office confirmed it had received the note, but said that it was not indicative of the government's economic policy.